हाय। तो एनेस्थीसिया को हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं मुझे तो पता नहीं, शायद आपको पता होगा। तो कमेंट करके बताइएगा कि इसका हिंदी में क्या शब्द है। तो आज मैं आपको लेके आया हूँ एक छोटे से गांव स्कॉटलैंड में जिसका नाम है बाथगेट। और उस गांव में ये पीछे आप देख सकते हैं मेरे, दिस इज़ अ वेरी स्मॉल म्यूज़ियम जहाँ पे एनेस्थीसिया के डिस्कवरी को लेके उसके डिस्कवरर के बारे में काफ़ी सारा म्यूज़ियम में ऑब्जेक्ट्स रखा गया है। और काफ़ी सारी कहानी है जो एनेस्थीसिया के डेवलपमेंट में स्कॉटलैंड के छोटे से गांव से कैसे एनेस्थीसिया डेवलप होकर वर्ल्ड के मेडिकल साइंस को कैसे रेवोल्यूशनाइज करा है। और आइए जानते हैं एक छोटी सी स्टोरी। एंड वी आर गोइंग टू मीट जून, and June is running this museum, and June is going to tell us a little bit more about anesthesia and the contribution of this small town which is Bathgate to anesthesia, I mean taking anesthesia to the world. So let's go. Hi June.
Here we are.
Yeah. Hi June.
Hi.
Welcome to my channel. And June, I'm from India, and we have a lot of friends in India who would want to learn a little bit more about anesthesia, its discovery. So please take us through the journey of anesthesia and Bathgate.
Well, the connection to Bathgate was James Young Simpson, who he did not invent chloroform, but he recognised its use as an anaesthetic, and it was used mainly in childbirth. And he was made a professor at Edinburgh University, and there was a lot of people against what he was doing at the time. But what he wanted to do was just make life easier for people, for women in childbirth. And this is a wee table dedicated to James Young Simpson. This is a bust of him. The drawing was done actually by the gentleman who started the museum, Mr. Milne. And that's a drawing from an original drawing of James Young Simpson. And he came from Bathgate actually, and he demonstrated, he tried out, experimented with the anaesthesia on himself, and he nearly killed himself because he overdosed a couple of times. But he originally started just on a back street in Bathgate on pigs, and he tried out the anaesthetics on pigs before he tried them on humans.
Okay.
And then he tried the experiment on humans, and there was a lot of people opposed to what he was doing, but he persevered. And this wee case here is dedicated to James Young Simpson. This here is a wee plaque with his image on it. And these are old instruments that doctors used in the old days. This would be to administer anaesthetic on the face. And the big things here, these were forceps used in childbirth. And basically some of these things actually look like instruments of torture, but they actually were used by doctors for the administration of anaesthetics and various other medicines. This was a sterilising unit. This here would be used to sterilise equipment. And this here was to circulate blood. It was, somebody had to put that on your arm or your leg or wherever the blood wasn't flowing properly, and somebody else wound the wee handle, and it made the blood pump better, so they say. It was supposed to work. And so he was a very famous person from Bathgate, and we have one or two others as well. I don't know what else I can tell you about it. There's it was a breakthrough throughout the summer of 1847. He continued his quest for the ideal substance, often experimenting on himself. In March 1848, he informed the medics at Church Society of Edinburgh of the properties which made chloroform vastly superior to ether. But he was opposed at the time, but he persevered and went on with it and became very, very famous. He looks quite a homely wee man, you know, he's got quite a friendly kind of face. He's
I've seen him in Princess Street. I think there's a big statue in Princess Street, isn't there?
Is there? I think there is actually. And you also see his image on buses round about here.
Yeah.
There's James Young Simpson and there's Paraffin Young, the two images of the two most famous people from Bathgate.
Yeah. So just a minute. So yeah, that was June Campbell, and this is a very small museum in Bathgate. So anyone who is visiting this beautiful Scottish town definitely should visit Bathgate and see the anesthesia, the museum where the history of anesthesia has been kept alive. And June is here. June is a very, very warm person, and anyone who coming here would definitely love June's introduction into a lot of other Scottish inventions and Scottish persons who have lived and grew up in smaller towns like Bathgate and other places. So, and whenever we think of innovations in our mind, at least in my mind, we think of it as a very urban, urban process. But increasingly visiting rural parts of Scotland, I've realized that innovations are actually done from very rural towns of Scotland, which has taken the world basically. I mean, including the steam engine. So yeah, stay on, and I'm going to introduce you to June again for another round, and we'll listen to some more stories about Scottish villages.